Hola y buenos días. Welcome to Standard Deviant School Spanish. I'm Tessa Monroe.
And I'm Kenyatta Rogers. Our program is Using Articles and Pronouns. These are the workhorses of the Spanish language.
And we're here to lend you a helping hand as you learn all about them.
Let's get started.
Here's how we'll give you the inside track for using articles and pronouns. First, we'll teach you the vocabulary you'll need to know. Then we'll teach you the definite articles, el, la, los, and las, followed by the indefinite articles, un, una, unos, and unas. We'll also teach you some tricks so you can remember whether the noun is masculine or feminine. Then we'll teach you all 12, yes, count them, 12 pronouns. Hang on.
Mesa.
Carro.
Cine means movie theater. Ciudad means city.
Día. Mano means hand. Promoción means promotion. Doctor, doctora. Programa. Papel means paper. Good. Problema. Actriz. Martes. Calcetín is sock. Estudiante. Cliente.
Are you worried you won't remember them all? Don't be. They'll be back.
In Spanish, just about everything is a girl or a boy. Okay, that sounds silly, but here's what we mean. Nouns, articles, and pronouns, as well as the adjectives that modify them, all express gender.
Inanimate objects like tables, rocks, and nose hair clippers are all considered either masculine or feminine. Usually, if a word ends in A, it's feminine, and if it ends in O, it's masculine.
I say usually because you know there are exceptions to every rule. Well, almost every rule. Anyway, for now, just remember.
If the Spanish noun ends in A, it's feminine, and any adjectives you use to modify it should also be feminine and end in A as well. If a noun ends in O, it's masculine, and any adjectives you use to modify it should also be masculine and end in O. Back to elementary school grammar for a minute. Remember what articles are?
Not that kind of article. We're talking about the words a, an, and the that tell us a little bit about the noun that follows. Articles are considered adjectives. The word the is a definite article. It specifies which thing or person you're talking about.
When you refer to the sticky spot on the floor, you're referring to one specific sticky spot. On the other hand, if you refer to a sticky spot on the floor, you're not pointing out one specific spot. You could be talking about any sticky spot, which, if you were speaking about a place in your own home, would be both disgusting and unfortunate. That's why the articles a and an are called indefinite articles. They don't refer to one specific thing.
In English, we only have one definite article, the word the. In Spanish, there are 4 definite articles. They are el, la, los, and las. Spanish definite articles describe the noun they modify with more detail than the does in English. Spanish definite articles tell you whether the noun they modify is masculine or feminine, singular or plural.
Use the definite article el with a noun that's singular and masculine, such as carro. You'd say el carro. In English, that means the car.
If you're talking in Spanish about more than one car, use the article los. You'd say los carros. In English, that means the cars.
Use la with a singular feminine noun such as mesa, which means table. La mesa means the table. If you are talking about more than one table, use the article las and say las mesas, which means the tables.
Like we said, the indefinite articles in English are a and an. In Spanish, there are 4 indefinite articles that, again, tell a bit more about the noun they modify than their English counterparts.
They are un, una, unos, and unas.
Just like the definite articles, the indefinite articles tell you if the noun they modify is masculine or feminine, singular or plural. Here are some examples.
Use the indefinite article un with a singular masculine noun. For example, Un carro means a car. To refer to a group of cars, but not a specific group of cars, use unos carros, which means some cars.
Use una with a singular feminine noun. Una mesa means a table. Unas mesas refers to a non-specific group of tables.
Masculine nouns in Spanish usually end in L, O, N, E, R, or S, like the words papel, carro, calcetín, cine, doctor, and martes. The words for paper, car, sock, movie, doctor, and Tuesday. Since these nouns don't seem to be inherently male or female, you have to look at the endings to tell that they're masculine. And hey, these masculine endings spell the word loners. So when you think masculine, think about the word loners.
Feminine words in Spanish tend to end in D, ion, Z, or A, like in the words ciudad, promoción, actriz, and mesa, which means city, promotion, actress, and table. When you think feminine, think Dionza.
Some masculine nouns can be made feminine just by adding the letter A to the end, like the words doctor and doctora. Doctor refers to a male doctor, and doctora refers to a female doctor. We see this kind of change a lot when we're talking about people, especially professions.
Oh, this just in. Clever mnemonics, loners, Dionza, they aren't telling you the whole story. In the Spanish language, words like mono end in O. Students and teachers think it's masculine, but it's not. It's feminine, la mono. Be warned, there are more exceptions to come. This is Pebble Jackson, reporting live.
Now, there are some exceptions to these gender rules.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Like the word for day, dia, which is masculine, even though it ends in an A.
Oh, okay. And many words that end in ma, like programa and problema, are actually masculine.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of weird to see a masculine word that ends in A, but hey, that's why they call them exceptions.
You'll also run into words that have one form that can be either masculine or feminine, like estudiante or cliente. They depend on the article that comes with them to tell the reader whether they're masculine or feminine. Exceptions can really cause you problems, so we'll go over them one more time. Make sure to file them properly so you remember them. Put them all in one place. La mano, el día, el programa, el problema, el o la cliente, el o la estudiante.
Now let's talk about pronouns. In case you're zoning on what a pronoun is, it's a word like she or it that takes the place of a noun. Imagine a world without pronouns. We would have to repeat nouns over and over again.
Obviously, Spanish has pronouns too, a bunch of them in fact. To get to know the Spanish pronouns intimately, you need to know their gender. Can you let go of me, please? Thanks. And you need to know whether they're singular or plural. Before we go through each of the pronouns, I want to tell you about the pronoun you.
In English, you has many uses. You can be the one person I'm talking to, or you can be the group of people I'm talking to. In other words, the pronoun you can be either singular or plural in English. Also, you can refer to anyone, young or old, friend or stranger.
The rules for the pronoun you are quite different in Spanish. There are 5, count them, 5 Spanish pronouns that mean you. Lucky for you, most Spanish classes only focus on 3 of them, so that's what we're going to do too.
The ones most important for you to learn are tú, usted, and ustedes. The other 2 are vosotros and vosotras, which are used only in Spain.
Use the singular pronoun tú to refer to a person who is your peer.
Are you my peer?
No, Sonny.
In other words, tú means a person whom you know well and is not a lot older or in a higher position than you.
Are you my peer?
Tú refers to your equal or to someone who is younger than you and has less status.
Are you my peer?
I'm your sister, you idiot.
Tú! Oh!
The other singular pronoun, usted, is also used in both Spain and Latin America. Use usted when you refer to someone whom you don't know or don't know very well.
You also use usted for someone who is older or holds a higher position than you. You would probably refer to your boss or your grandmother as usted. Usted.
What did you call me? Get back in your office!
Usted. John, do you remember Maria? I think you two have met before.
Dude, that's usted to you, buddy.
You would definitely call a new acquaintance usted until you got to know her better. If you're ever in doubt about whether to use tú or usted, use usted to be safe.
Usted is often abbreviated to capital U, D, period. The abbreviation is just a common and easy way to write usted. There's no particular reason for it. It's kind of like abbreviating Mr. and Mrs. in English. We just sort of do it out of habit and because everyone else does.
When you write out the word usted, use a lowercase u. Unless, of course, it's the first word in a sentence. When you abbreviate it, use an uppercase U, whether it's at the beginning of the sentence or not. It's just one of those language things. Go figure.
When we said go figure, we were speaking figuratively.
In Latin America, the plural pronoun for you is ustedes. If you're addressing a group directly, call them ustedes. Ustedes is also used in Spain, but like usted, it's considered a formal pronoun. In Latin America, ustedes is used for any situation calling for a plural you, formal or informal.
In other words, if you want to say you all stink, you'd say
Ustedes apestan. Let's get 'em!
Of course, the group might throw things at you, but that's besides the point right now. Use ustedes to refer to any group, regardless of their age or whether you know them or not.
Ustedes is often abbreviated to capital U, DS, period. Again, when you write out the word, use a lowercase u unless it is the first word in a sentence. When you abbreviate it, use an uppercase U regardless of where the word is in the sentence.
Those are the 3 pronouns for you that you'll have to know the best and will probably use most often. Now we'll tell you a little bit about vosotros and vosotras, which are the plural pronouns for you that are used in Spain.
Use the plural pronoun vosotros when you address a group of men or group of both men and women as you. Use vosotras to address a group of women as you. It's that gender thing again.
Ustedes, the more commonly used plural you, does not imply gender. You can use it to refer to any group, men, women, or both. But you do have to consider gender if you use vosotros or vosotras. The fact that there are 2 forms of the pronoun, one with an A and one with an O, is a dead giveaway that you need to consider the gender of the group you're referring to and pick the proper form accordingly.
The Spanish pronoun for I is easy. It's yo. Like, yo, Adrian. It's always yo, whether you're a woman or a man. Yo.
Yo.
So to Spanish speakers, international rap stars sound like this.
I, we.
When you use the Spanish pronoun for we, you have to think gender again. If you're a woman and in a group of women, use nosotras. Notice the A at the end, denoting the feminine gender. If you're a man and in a group of men, refer to yourselves as nosotros. When you're in a group of both men and women, use nosotros, the masculine form.
The Spanish word for he is él. It's the third-person singular masculine pronoun. Él is spelled just like the article el, except that there's an accent over the E, which lets you know that this él is the pronoun he rather than the article the.
The Spanish word for she is ella. There's that A again at the end of ella, telling you that you're dealing with a feminine word. Remember to pronounce the double L like a Y. We're not dealing with Ella Fitzgerald here. Ella is the third-person singular feminine pronoun.
There are 2 third-person plural pronouns in Spanish. As you might have guessed, one is masculine and the other is feminine.
If you are referring to a group of men or a group of both men and women, call them ellos. If you are referring to a group of women, call them ellas.
Okay, let's review. In Spanish, all nouns are considered masculine or feminine. If a word ends in L, O, N, E, R, or S, it's probably a masculine word. If the word ends in D, I, O, N, Z, or A, it's probably a feminine word. There are a few exceptions, but for the most part, all nouns follow those gender guidelines. The adjectives and the articles that modify nouns have to match the noun they modify. The definite articles in Spanish are el, la, los, and las. for masculine singular, masculine plural, and feminine plural. The indefinite articles in Spanish are un, una, unos, and unas. Again, for masculine singular, masculine plural, and feminine plural.
And the 12 pronouns. The pronoun for I is yo. There are 3 pronouns in Spanish for the word you. Use tú with people you know well, who are younger than you, or who have a lower status. Use usted, the formal you, for people you don't know well, who are older than you, or have a higher status. The plural form of you is ustedes, and that works for everyone. He is él, and she is ella. We is either nosotros or nosotras, depending on whether you need the masculine or feminine form. Finally, the 2 pronouns that mean they are ellos and ellas. Ellos is masculine, and ellas is feminine. That's all the time we have today for articles and pronouns. We bet you learned something, and we hope you enjoyed yourself as well.
Thanks for watching Standard Deviant School. Adios.
Hasta luego.